if you're watching this before the 19th of October, I will be appearing at the Mind, Body, Soul Experience in London, offering live readings, spiritual coaching sessions, charm readings. Many of you love my charm readings, past life snapshots, and even recording some special podcast interviews for the Inquisitive Wren. You can pre-book your session, but you must be quick because it's going quickly, and find out more using the link in the show notes. And if you grab a 45-minute power reading or power inner shift session, coaching session, you'll also receive a free legacy CD. This is from the Give Me series and the Let Go series, and a free ticket to the show, but it's dependent on availability. You must be quick. There aren't many free tickets left. There won't be many CDs left. Even if you're unable to grab a reading, come by, say hello. I hope to see you there. Imagine waking up every morning feeling calm, energized, and centered, no matter what life throws your way. What if I told you that you can achieve this balance through simple spiritual practices? Today, we're diving into 20 spiritual practices that can boost your mental wellness and transform your emotional state. Whether you struggle with anxiety, ruminating thoughts, or feelings of burnout, these practices could make all the difference. And you may be surprised at what's on the list. Let's get started.
You're listening to the Inquisitive Wren podcast, the show that brings you philosophical ponderings of your life from a bird's eye view. Now, here's your host, Shah.
Before we dive into the practices, let's first clarify a crucial distinction. Mental health and mental wellness are not the same. Mental health refers to the presence, or I would say the absence of mental illness, such as depression, anxiety, or OCD. It's how we process, how we manage, and how we cope with emotional stress. On the other hand, mental wellness is a proactive state of well-being. So it never stops. It's not up and down. You have to work at it. It's about how you nurture your mind, your body, and your spirit to maintain emotional balance, even when life gets challenging, even when things are thrown at you from out of the blue. Mental wellness is the foundation for living a thriving life, an aligned life, and today I'm sharing 20 spiritual practices that can boost it. These are practices that I've used throughout the years. Some of them come and go, but some of them are a mainstay. Some of them I practice daily, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. At the core of mental wellness is the mind-body-soul connection. As a holistic therapist, I always talk about the three, the Trinity, mind, body, soul. And when the body is relaxed, the brain functions differently. For example, when we experience relaxation, whether through, let's say, deep breathing, meditation, or gentle movement like Tai Chi, our heart rate slows down and our nervous system shifts into a restful state. And this biological shift is crucial in improving mental wellness and reducing the impact of mental health challenges like OCD or ruminating thoughts or depression. So let's get into the practices that I have found very helpful. I've suggested them to other people as a part of therapy practice as well. Some of these have come into play. And the first one is not going to surprise you. The first one is meditation. Let's just get that one out of the way. So as we begin, we want to talk about meditation because I'm sure you've heard of it, but what does it really do for your mind and your body? You hear the word all the time. But meditation is actually the practice of focusing your mind on a very specific thought or object, often in a quiet environment, if you can, to achieve a deep state of relaxation. And studies have shown that meditation can reduce stress, improve focus, and decrease symptoms of anxiety and depression. And this is research based on Goel et al. 2014. Meditation helps mental wellness because when you meditate, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system. We've talked about this in some of my other videos. This is the rest and digest part of your system. This reduces cortisol, which, as you all know, is the stress hormone. And it increases serotonin, which a lot of you will know. Serotonin and dopamine, they're neurotransmitters responsible for feelings of well-being, feelings of happiness and joy. The brain also becomes much better at regulating emotions when you're more relaxed, which can help break the cycle of, for instance, ruminating thoughts. If you listen to my video on dark thoughts, we talk a bit about rumination and also why those thoughts reoccur. And one of the things that the body does when you begin to relax through meditation is it clears those thoughts. It's almost as though they fade into the background. One of the things I like to say to people is when I suggest meditation, a lot of people go, oh no, I could never meditate without even trying. But when I ask about the fear or the resistance, they often say, I'm afraid of what will come up. And I understand that because they're already challenged with dark, deep, or negative thoughts. So they're afraid they'll be amplified. And that's not always the case with meditation. They aren't always amplified or in 3D. Mostly they fade into the background. So what I would suggest to people, if this is one of your fears, practice visualizing any thoughts that come up fading away into the background, almost like smoke. You know, any smoke in the air, it's just there for a bit and then it just fades away. And that's the visualization you can use for your thoughts when you begin to meditate. And you will find that each and every time you meditate, those thoughts get less and less and less. Practice number 2 is mindfulness. Now, many people get meditation and mindfulness confused. Meditation is quite different from mindfulness. Mindfulness is the act of being present in the present moment, just aware of your thoughts, aware of your feelings, and aware of your surroundings without reacting impulsively. So the goal with mindfulness is just to situate yourself in the moment. All there is now. I'm sat in this chair. My feet are on the floor. I'm breathing. I can hear something. Just focus on exactly what's happening right now without moving if you're uncomfortable. Although I tell people when you first start out with mindfulness, if you really need to shift that leg, do so. Otherwise, because you're new to it, you will focus on it too much and then there goes your mindfulness practice. Practice that helps you to stop getting lost in worries about the past or the future. And mindfulness is something you can integrate into your daily life, whether you're eating, walking, or even having a conversation. So for instance, if you are making a cup of tea, aim to focus on making that cup of tea. And I chose that because if you're a tea drinker, like most of us, in the UK anyway, it will be like clockwork. You will make that tea without even thinking about it. You can't even remember making it. because it's so automatic. It's done so often that it's just automatic. With mindfulness, you would focus on getting the tea bag out. You would even start before that, focus on the thought, I would like a cup of tea. That's the thought. If you have to get up to go into a kitchen and make the cup of tea, focus on your movement, getting up, how it feels to walk there. If you have to reach up for the tea bags, what are you getting? Will you have sugar? Will you have milk in your tea? How you're making the tea, the boiling of the kettle. Do you have to refill the kettle? Do you empty the kettle first? Focus on every single part of making that cup of tea. And what can really be relaxing is the pouring of the water into the tea, or into either the on top of the tea bag, or if you're someone who puts the tea bag in after. Everybody has a ritual with making tea, and this is the other part of the powerfulness of mindfulness is ritual, but we'll come on to that. Mindfulness is something you can just integrate there. So as you're eating as well, how does the food taste? What are you feeling as you put the fork spoon to your mouth? What are you doing in conversation? Are you listening? Are you actively listening? Are you anxious to speak? Are you hearing what someone's saying? How does your body feel as you're in the conversation? And mindfulness does what it says on the 10. You'll be mindful of exactly what's happening. The science of mindfulness is very interesting because it's been shown to change the brain in positive ways. Studies indicate that regular mindfulness practice increases gray matter in areas of the brain associated with emotional regulation. So, when you're doing a psychology degree, there's a lot of diagrams about gray matter, white matter, and it's very fascinating how the brain associates emotional regulation and memory. So much research, particularly by Zidan et al. 2010. And this means the more mindful we are, the more resilient we become to life's challenges. So you're less affected by things that fly at you out of the blue. You're less affected by other people's moods, the way they look at you, the way you might feel. You're less affected by external circumstances. You become a lot more resilient. And mindfulness matters for mental wellness because, let's say for those dealing with OCD or destructive behaviors, mindfulness offers a way to break free from obsessive thoughts by focusing on the here and the now. So much of obsessive thoughts are focused on the past. Mindfulness helps you bring you into now, not the future, but now. There is power in the now. By staying grounded in the present, we can observe intrusive thoughts, as I spoke about before, without identifying with them. So you see them as a thought. Oh, I see that. That's a thought. And then you watch it fade into the background or into the ether. And this helps in reducing the emotional charge and the power of these thoughts. Those thoughts can take you right back to the past. So being mindful keeps you in the present. It's a thought or it was an incident. It's in the past. It's not happening right now. What's happening right now are your thoughts. So it leads to less stress and less anxiety. One of the reasons why I recorded relaxation with mindfulness is because a lot of people didn't know how to do either. And so we start out getting you comfortable with relaxing. That's very difficult for many people. And then we go into focusing on the present moment. Very powerful, and I will put a link in the show notes. Practice 3 is physical activity. Now, many of you will know that movement enhances our physical well-being. So let's talk about this physical activity, because it's no secret that exercise has a profound impact on mental health, let alone mental wellness. But it's not just about getting your body moving or, just doing something for the sake of it. It's really more focused on how it helps balance your brain chemistry. That's what we're after here. The mind-body connection of movement, how it focuses and changes mind-body connection. So when we exercise, we release endorphins, our brain's natural feel-good chemicals. You all know that. And these help to reduce stress, you all know this as well, and improve our mood. Exercise is also very helpful in increasing blood flow to the brain. And this supports cognitive function and emotional regulation. Really, this is what we're after always with these practices spiritually, because when you're emotionally regulated, it means you're in a different state of mind. You are not being controlled by external circumstances. External circumstances or external influences include other people. So whether it's yoga, walking, dancing, I highly recommend it. Moving your body is one of the best ways to boost your mental wellness. Just for that time, you are out of yourself. You're connecting with something very different. And people who practice trance dancing in a spiritual sense are really able to disconnect and take themselves out of themselves, so that the only focus is the endorphins flowing through, those feel-good chemicals flowing through the body, right to the brain, affecting the brain's chemistry. This is why we feel elated after a gym session, or after yoga, or after a dance, session. We feel elated because our body's moved, but also our brain chemistry has changed. Watch people dance as well. A lot of people have smiles on their faces unless they're doing a particular dance. But a lot of people can't help but smile and be happy, because what's happening is they're feeling better. They're feeling happier. They're feeling of existence. They exist. They can feel something, and it's feeling good. It could be gentle movement. You are connecting the mind, the body, the spirit, and you're getting closer and closer to alignment with not only yourself, but spiritually with the universe, with everything that surrounds you, with everything that's connected to you, and with your spiritual self, the part that's often suppressed during the day when you're at work or when you have to do your home duties. Very much suppressed. So incorporate movement into your daily practice for mental wellness. Fear doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, keeping you from the life you deserve. I'm Ishare Willante, therapist and coach, and I've created What If You Were Brave Enough? How to actually move beyond fear to get what you really want. This is a powerful 5-module course that will help you calm fear, challenge old stories, and take real confident steps forward. If you want to move house, if you want to get into a relationship, if you want to change careers, whatever it is that you've been wanting to do, but something is keeping you from doing it, you'll get the full course that will help you to move forward. It's a beautifully designed workbook, inspiring quote cards, and a library of additional resources. Plus, my personal stories, clinical research, and over 2 decades of professional experience. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be brave enough. Click the link below, and I'll see you there. If you're ready for exclusive soul-nourishing content that you won't find anywhere else, become a subscriber on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to access ad-free episodes with special guided meditations and visualizations for calm and clarity, and bonus episodes on spiritual growth, personal growth, energy healing, and spiritual awakening. Join the inner circle and experience deeper self-discovery today. Practice 4 is sleep hygiene, and sleep can really affect how well you feel. One of the most overlooked aspects of mental wellness is sleep, in fact. Although we know it helps, but poor sleep hygiene can lead to stress, mood swings, and cognitive impairment. On the other hand, quality sleep helps the brain process emotions and memories, which a lot of people don't know about. So sometimes we wake up and you can be thinking, oh gosh, what happened to that? I remember that. And it helps to restore balance. Your memory improves with good sleep. Now, here are a few tips for better sleep hygiene. To improve your sleep, try to decide upon a consistent sleep schedule. People have said to me in the past, that's very difficult. Every day is different. Sure, but every day doesn't have to be different. So you need to accept that you've made that decision. You've made a decision that every day is different. Unless it affects your work schedule for some reason, if you're on shifts. I do work with clients who do shifts at work. It can be very difficult. However, they can still incorporate some type of sleep hygiene. But you can also limit your screen time before bed, during bed. I've had people recently say to me that they wake up at 3 and 4 a.m. to look at their phones. This is interrupted sleep, and it creates disruption. So you must seek to create a relaxing bedtime routine. This could include a bath or shower before bed because water spiritually cleanses your aura and anything connected to it, anything you may have picked up during the day by sitting in a chair. We are energy bodies and we leave bits of ourselves where we've been. So you can walk into a room sometimes and feel a particular way. The room could be empty, but you feel something and you don't know what. You might feel really happy, comfortable, or you might feel as if you want to get out of there. And that's because people have left behind energy. Those of us who are quite sensitive and are very aware of that sensitivity to energy will have to incorporate much better sleep hygiene because it prepares you for the rest of your day, the start of your day. But preparing for sleep is very important. Look at it this way. You don't want to take all of that excess into bed with you. So to improve your sleep, try to establish a consistent schedule. Limit your screen time and create a very relaxing bedtime routine. It could also include lovely, relaxing music, listening to a motivational CD or audiobook, something relaxing, not true crime or anything like that. Studies have shown that good sleep hygiene not only improves your mood, but it can also reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. And this is from Hershowitz et al. 2015. We know that sleep hygiene helps to improve your overall mental wellness. One of my best-selling recordings is Give Me Restful Sleep. And actually that started early on when it was first released. And it's interesting because there's no up and down with it. It's consistently the bestseller. I think that's because we all have to sleep. If we don't get proper sleep, it affects us so incredibly. Our mood, our physicality, our concentration, our ability to perform, our ability to remember things. It's such a crucial part of the human existence. And you know how you feel when you have a really, really good sleep. It's amazing. So Give Me Restful Sleep. It's still out there. You can get it to download on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music. Also provide a recording about nightmares because a lot of people are awakened because of nightmares. So I thought I'd mention that. In my drop series, I have dropped nightmares for adults and drop nightmares for children. Early on in my hypnotherapy career, I saw a lot of children for different things, for things like bedwetting, hair pulling, nail biting, bullying, lots of different things. But one of the things that was prominent besides exam fears was nightmares. Practice 5. Artistic endeavors. Now, this one may surprise you, but engaging in creative activities like coloring, journaling, painting, crafting are incredibly therapeutic. These activities don't just give you a bit of an outlet to express yourself, but they also trigger the release of dopamine, promoting a sense of joy and a sense of achievement. Think about it when you were little and you did coloring in. If you got the coloring in the lines, you felt really good about it. And even children who didn't, and there were many who didn't, and still adults who don't, it's the process. It's the fun of choosing the different pencils or pens and coloring in and creating something different. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece in your own mind. This is why art therapy and mental health go together. It's been shown to help individuals process emotions, manage stress, and even alleviate symptoms of PTSD and anxiety, which are very, very serious conditions. Whether it's the soothing effects of coloring, choosing your colors, being in control, or catharsis sometimes that you get from writing in a journal, exploring your thoughts or pouring out how your day has been, what bothered you, what upset you, and the things that went really well. That can be cathartic. And engaging in these creative practices can significantly boost mental wellness. So try to incorporate something artistic in everyday life. Practice 6. You must take a digital detox. So there's power in disconnecting, literally power in disconnecting. Let's talk about it. In today's hyper-connected world, hyper-vigilant, hyper-responsive, we're constantly bombarded by information. We're in the information age. Taking regular breaks from screens is vital for mental wellness. Think about it. You are ingesting so much information and your brain is grasping it. It gives your mind a chance to reset if you can take a break. And it's a powerful tool for combating stress, burnout, and anxiety. The benefits are it can reduce overstimulation, improve your sleep, of course, and enhance your focus. Why does it improve your sleep? There are less things that will be on your mind when you're falling asleep. I always like to look at falling asleep. So sometimes people can do it very quickly. It's no issue. But those who overthink things, when you get into the bed, that's the one time, it's almost as though your pillow goes, right, here you go, and lays every scenario out for you to think about as you lay your head on your pillow. So when we disconnect from technology, we give our nervous system a break and we allow space for deeper reflection. I've created a free resource for you. It's the 7-day digital detox to help you take the first step toward a healthier relationship with technology. The link to download this free digital detox is in the show notes. Download it and use it. You can put it on your phone, your iPad, use it every day. It can really help. I created it because I created it for myself to use. When I started the podcast and when I started doing more things online, it became all-consuming for me. And I needed a way to stop myself from looking, from checking. And this is what I created 4 years ago. I've updated it a bit, and it's there for you to download for free. Practice number 7, prayer. Now, spiritually, there is such healing power in prayer. For many, Prayer serves as a spiritual practice, and it provides solace and a deeper connection with the divine. Prayer can reduce stress. It can also foster gratitude, and it can create a sense of peace and belonging. There's scientific backing for prayer, and studies suggest that prayer can have a calming effect on the nervous system, lowering blood pressure and reducing cortisol. It can also promote a sense of purpose, a sense of connection with something greater than oneself, leading to increased resilience in the face of stress, in the face of worry, in the face of fear. Incorporate some type of prayer. It doesn't have to be religious. We're not talking about religion. However, if that's you, if you're of a religious backing, then please incorporate that into your daily practice. But if you would call yourself spiritual, there's still prayer involved. You can call the universe, your guides, your helpers, your saints, your angels, your relatives, whatever connections you feel you have with whatever is outside of you will help you to connect more with what's inside of you. Prayer is powerful. And remember, you're not really praying to ask for things. And this is where religion has overloaded some type of prerequisite for prayer. You're not asking for anything. Prayer, or if you're asking, it's for the greater good, shall we say. It's for peace on earth. It's for to end hunger, to end violence, to end war. It's for the greater good, and you can ask for that. Now, Buddhists would take a different standpoint. There's lots of different ways to pray. I did an interview on Buddhism. Go back and watch that. I will put a link just on the screen now. And though some of those practices are just fantastic and amazing. But again, whatever religion as such you are a part of, use whatever you need. And if you're more spiritual, if there's no book as such, then you can use other things such as spiritual works that people have produced as prayer. There's some powerful messages in books that have been written and in making up your own. If you're into living with purpose, clarity, and soul, check out the Aligned Living newsletter. I am genuinely obsessed with creating it. I share strategies that actually work, drawn from close to 30 years as a therapist, plus powerful insights into spiritual and personal growth. You'll get access to free resources like the Aligned Living Journal, full e-courses, guided meditations, and tools to help you shift your energy, habits, and mindset, all for free when you sign up. I'm building this with heart and honesty, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. Head to the link in the show notes and join me today. Practice number 8 is silence. This may surprise some of you. Separate from meditation, separate from mindfulness, we're just talking about silence. In our noisy, fast-paced world, silence is rare, but it's a powerful practice. I can personally attest to this. And when I haven't adhered to it, I've really regretted it. Sitting in silence allows you to hear your inner thoughts and connect with your deeper self. So silence helps clear that mental clutter, and it creates a space for insight, for healing. People often ask me, well, what do you mean about healing? My definition of healing is a shift from where you are now, where it is hurting, pressing upon you, and where it no longer presses upon you. That's a state of healing. We use the word healing for physical illness. Why can't we use it for mental illness? I've heard somebody recently say, well, what does healing mean? Well, that's what it means in my mind. And psychological benefits of silence are Research shows that silence can help reduce anxiety, improve cognitive function, and it can also help to enhance emotional regulation. That means you're not being pushed outside of yourself to behave, to react in a particular way. Taking time for stillness offers a reprieve from the constant stimulation of modern life, which supports mental wellness overall. How do you practice silence? Well, especially when you feel boiling over, bubbling over that you need to say something, choose restraint. Remain silent. When you really want to send that email, just do a draft. Don't send it yet. Wait days. Wait months. If it's not urgent, it's not urgent. Silence is also not responding to anything. Acknowledging it, but not responding. That's silence. So silence isn't just not speaking. Silence is not reacting. There are many ways to react rather than speech or other than speech. Practice silence. In fact, I suggest to everyone to practice silence at least 2 to 3 times a day. Even if you're meant to be speaking up in some meeting, you'll find that other people will fill the space. You don't have to. Practice silence and you will find yourself feeling so much more relaxed. Practice 9. Yoga, Qigong, or Tai Chi. Any of those. Now, this is the power in movement-based practices. Yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, they all combine movement, breathwork, and mindfulness. And these practices enhance not just flexibility, but strength and relaxation. Kundalini yoga especially is very, very good for your energy levels. And all of these practices are particularly beneficial for those looking to reconnect with their bodies and to manage stress. The scientific benefits of these movement-based practices are studies have shown that yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong can improve mental clarity. So suddenly you become very clear. When I've taken Tai Chi, because I still do Tai Chi classes, sometimes I'll take a class and sometimes I'll do it at home, or Qigong. Yoga is a regular practice for me. But especially with Tai Chi, I really find that I gain very quickly mental clarity. Now, with yoga, I'm a little bit more focused on my poses. And that's to eliminate the threat of injury, but also that I get it right. And to be in the space, the movement. It helps to reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, and these movement-based practices promote overall well-being. So if you do suffer from stress or ruminating thoughts or any type of depression, anxiety, these practices can help you regulate the nervous system and promote emotional balance. My suggestion is to try one. Maybe find one online to do, just to try it out and see what you think, rather than committing, because a lot of people feel as though they need to just commit, buy these huge courses or buy these gym memberships. You don't. Take 1 or 2 and then decide. Practice 10. Volunteering and acts of kindness. Now, this shouldn't surprise you. It shouldn't shock you. Acts of kindness, whether through volunteering, charity work, or simply helping a neighbor, can boost your mental wellness. Giving to others fosters a sense of purpose, a sense of connection. Psychological impact of altruism. Research has shown that helping others activates the brain's reward centers. And see, we forget about the rewards we get, releasing feel-good chemicals like oxytocin and dopamine. Engaging in altruistic activities, it not only helps to enhance your mood, but it strengthens social bonds and it improves overall mental health. So a lot of this practice is if you're volunteering, if you're doing charity work, if you're helping a neighbor, it involves someone other than yourself. The focus suddenly is taken off of you. Suddenly, other things are important in life rather than just you. Practice 11, the gratitude practice. The healing power of gratitude. And gratitude is the practice of acknowledging the positive aspects of your life, the things that work, the things that you're just grateful for, focusing on what's going well. And that can help you to shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. And abundance isn't always about money. Abundance can be defined in many different ways. Just having that roof over your head is abundance. The psychological benefits are that studies show practicing gratitude increases serotonin and dopamine, two neurotransmitters associated with happiness. Emmons and McCullough, 2003, talked about how this is the case and also how it activates the brain's reward centers. And human beings are all about reward, improving emotional regulation and reducing stress. For us, for humans, if there's something in it for us, we will usually do it, be it conscious or unconscious. And being grateful for all of those things that you've created because you have created them, you've had choices in life, can be really reassuring. It can help to boost your self-esteem. Many people choose to keep a gratitude journal, and I understand that. I've done that in the past. I'm not consistent with it because I've transferred it to meditation. I can do a few minutes meditation gratitude. I don't always have to write it down. So you can practice gratitude in many different ways. One of the things I used to do when I first transferred it to my meditation or my mindfulness practice. Sometimes I would say, what am I grateful for right now? So you can be grateful for the little things. It doesn't have to be this huge thing. And you can practice gratitude throughout your day. If you choose to keep a gratitude journal, at the 1 year mark, it can be helpful to look back, to read back and see how your life has been influenced by this gratitude practice. It might surprise you. Practice number 12 is the forgiveness practice. Now, the Bishop Desmond Tutu wrote a wonderful book on forgiveness, but sometimes it's really, really helpful to let go of grudges. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning hurtful behavior, but rather letting go of resentment for your own peace of mind. It's all about freeing yourself from the emotional chains that hold you back. Now, there is biology in forgiveness as well, and research indicates that forgiveness lowers blood pressure and it reduces stress hormones. Worthington et al., 2001, talked about this and also how it activates the brain's reward centers. Again, humans, we get something out of forgiveness, enhancing well-being, emotional resilience. So know that when you choose to forgive, you get something out of it, and that's good. That's okay. That's the whole reason you're forgiving. And some people have said to me when we talk about forgiveness in a spiritual session, or they may have a mediumship reading and somebody might come through and says, please forgive me. So all that stuff will come up. And someone once said, I don't think I need to forgive. It's not important anymore. And I would suggest that garners meditation. You should meditate on that, because meditating on that will give you a different perspective. Now, in the end, and some people have also said that they can't forgive, which is not true. You can forgive. It's not condoning hurtful behavior, but it's letting go of the resentment you have about their behavior. Remember, it's their behavior. And this is where the victimhood comes in. And victimhood is real. We must never downplay being a victim. It's huge. It's very important. If you've been victimized, you've been victimized. There's nothing wrong with saying you were a victim of something, because you were. And this is where I tend to get upset with the internet as such. I always blame the whole internet. When people say, oh, stop being the victim to other people, it's one of the most unkind things that I find people can say to other people. That, oh, he's playing the victim. She's playing the victim. People have been abused, they've been mistreated, and therefore they are victims of that mistreatment. And they can say that they have been, and they should be able to say that they have been, or they're feeling it now, because that's what they're feeling, without someone judging them, downplaying it, or criticizing them for feeling victimized. So practice forgiveness daily if you can. Nine Peaches Therapy's self-help recordings focus on improving the quality of your life by helping you to achieve confidence, positivity, restful sleep, or relaxation. Created by an expert practitioner to help you to achieve the best result. Improve the quality of your life in just a few minutes a day using the most gentle and effective guided meditations to rid yourself of anxiety, stress, fear, and negative thinking. Available now on Spotify, Apple Music, and other platforms.
Never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button right now. Thank you for your support. You make this podcast possible. Now, back to the show.
Practice 13, sound healing. Now, there are different ways that sound can heal. Using vibrations such as singing bowls or tuning forks, which brings balance to the body's energy systems. These vibrations promote relaxation and can also help clear emotional blockages. There is neuroscience to sound. And holistically, many people talk about sound being crucial to their overall well-being. And studies have shown that sound therapy can lower the heart rate and the blood pressure. It reduces cortisol levels and improves overall mood. This is Leeds 2017. The vibrations help harmonize brain waves, leading to enhanced mental clarity and relaxation. There's such power in sound healing. And this can also include music of any kind. People have often said, their son or their child listens to heavy metal. Well, that's very healing for some people. You may not think it is, but, some people really find that healing. They feel much better after they've listened to something harsh and energetic. What we might call harsh, but what they find relaxing and energetic. Although others, like myself, would prefer Mozart or Grover Washington Jr., Stevie Wonder even. So many of us find music to be our sound healing. There's also relaxation sounds and natural sounds like waves, chimes, and the wind, of course. As you walk, there is healing in sound. There's so many resources that you have out there to help you with sound healing. In my recordings, I use sound because I know how powerful it is. And when people come for hypnotherapy, a lot of times, if they haven't ever done any type of relaxation, and there are many people who haven't, I will use sound to enhance their experience. But mostly, it's just my voice. And that's another thing. A voice can be very healing. If you incorporate sound into your daily spiritual practice, you will find it you'll find that it's a comfort to your soul. Practice 14, aromatherapy. The scent for the soul, I like to call it. Aromatherapy uses essential oils to promote emotional and physical well-being. Scents like lavender, eucalyptus, and rosemary have shown to reduce anxiety and improve mood. Diffusers using natural essences can really help you regulate your nervous system. And research has shown that certain scents can activate the limbic system, the part of the brain that controls emotions and memories. We touched upon that before, resulting in relaxation and improved mental clarity. Hers and Ingen, 1996's study. Aromatherapy can also reduce cortisol and boost serotonin production. Very easy to incorporate aromatherapy essential oils into your daily practice by using diffusers, by using candles, by using sprays. You can make your own scents and sprays. And using a diffuser is probably the quickest and easy way to incorporate those scents in. And you do have to be careful. Putting scents directly on your skin can irritate your skin. So do your research. Practice 15, nature immersion. This is all about connecting with nature. Nature immersion or ecotherapy involves spending time outdoors to heal and to recharge. And this can include activities like hiking, forest bathing, or simply sitting in a park. Now, let me be clear. Forest bathing is really just walking through a forest and allowing your entire essence to be surrounded by your surroundings. Biological and psychological benefits include lower blood pressure, boost immune systems, and reduce stress. And studies by Barton and Pretty in 2010 talked about how it also enhances creativity and mood by promoting the release of dopamine and serotonin. One of my favorite things to do in autumn is to walk through a forest or any nature reserve and just get close to an ocean or a forest or a sea, whatever it is. Getting into nature is powerful. Spiritually, you reconnect with what is divine, what is natural, what is grown from the earth, and that is powerful. You can also reconnect by practicing grounding rituals whilst you're out in nature. I supply my newsletter subscribers to a free download with the 6 grounding rituals that are easy and quick to do. And the feedback has been amazing. Nature is powerful. When we look at mind, body, soul, using some type of grounding technique is always helpful. And again, reconnecting with who you really are. This is where crystals can come in. So we know that crystals have come from the earth. And people talk about crystals just being these pretty stones. There's so much more. Let's pause for a moment from the show. And if you're enjoying today's episode of the Inquisitive Room podcast, we truly love your support. Leaving a 5-star review, hitting the like button, and subscribing on your favorite platform not only helps us grow, it ensures that you never miss an inspiring conversation. A word or two from you means the world, more than you know. They spark new, fresh ideas, connect us with incredible guests, and keeps the energy flowing. And if you're ready to go deeper, join our exclusive subscription service, where you'll gain access to bonus content, guided meditations, healing tools, and more to support your personal journey. Whether you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, watching on YouTube, or tuning in elsewhere, take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments and help spread the word. Subscribe now to never miss an episode of deep dives into spirituality, philosophy, psychology, and personal growth. Together, we're building a conscious community that celebrates curiosity, transformation, and growth. Thank you for being a part of the journey. Now, let's dive back into today's episode. Practice 16, Rituals and Ceremonies. Rituals and ceremonies offer structure and meaning, whether they're cultural traditions or personal practices, and they mark transitions and create a sense of connection to the divine and to community. And there's psychology in this as well. So rituals help regulate the brain's stress response by providing a sense of control and stability. This is why rituals are so powerful, and they activate the brain's reward system, reinforcing positive emotions and reducing anxiety. This is by Fisher et al., 2011. I wrote an article on rituals and ceremonies that did appear in magazine. I'll put a link to that article in the show notes. And I talked about the power of doing something consistently that connects you with mind, body, soul, but also something consistent. And consistency gives us the sense of control that we need in what can appear to be a chaotic world where you're not in control, where so much of daily life is out of your control. Systems are made, decisions are made in public office, by the governments, that we have nothing to do with. And even if you voted for them, some decisions are overturned. And it can leave you feeling, what's the point? Or it can leave you feeling as though you're just not in control of your everyday life. Practicing a ritual daily or twice a day, so some people pray in the morning, pray in the afternoon, can really bring you back to a sense of being centered. So one ritual might be lighting a candle before you meditate, or lighting incense, or sitting by a statue of something you admire, or using a crystal, or walking, taking a 5-10 minute walk every day. These can be rituals. Ceremonies can include attending services in communities that provide a structure where you know what's going to happen, you know what's going to be said, and that can give you a sense of comfort and reassurance. Practice 17, breathwork. Breathwork is the conscious practice of controlling your breath to bring about physical and emotional healing. Techniques like box breathing or alternate nostril breathing can reduce stress and increase energy. And there are biological effects. So breathwork exercises help to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps lower the heart rate and reduce cortisol levels. Research shows that breathwork can improve brain function and emotional regulations. Sakaro et al., 2018. When you practice breath work, it takes a few minutes really to get used to it. If you're new to it, you really have to give yourself some time to get used to that feeling. Some people have told me that when they first start practicing breath work, they become lightheaded. And that's because of the oxygen levels. Suddenly, your breathing has changed, which has changed the amount of oxygen that's going in and out of your body, and when it goes in and out of your body. And this can help to stimulate cortisol levels, reduce them, in fact, and lowers your heart rate, which is huge. So anybody who suffers from high blood pressure, or could really consider trying breath work. Practice 18, journaling. Journaling prompts provide structure for self-reflection and emotional release. Writing down your thoughts helps to clarify your emotions, and it provides insights into your subconscious mind. This is why journaling is so powerful. You'd be surprised sometimes at your thoughts. So if you've ever kept a diary or a journal, if you look at it months later or years later, you think, wow, was that me? And there's psychological impact in that. And research supports the therapeutic benefits of journaling. Writing about your emotions has been shown to reduce stress, so you get it out of you somehow, improve cognitive processing, and enhance emotional regulation. Pennebaker, 1997. It helps to integrate emotional experiences into your mental framework. When you journal, it's not just you writing things down. This can be a ritual. Many people have their favorite book to write in, their favorite pen or paints. Some people only use ink and pen, so they buy the bottle of ink and use an old style pen. That's a ritual. Some people use paints to draw with their journaling. Journaling doesn't always have to be words. It can be other things. It can be drawing images, letters, numbers. Everyone journals in a different way. A lot of people cut out things from magazines or newspapers and stick them in their journal for reflection. That can be also a good way of having prompts. So many people have said to me in the past, well, I bought this journal, but it's a blank page every time. I feel pressured. This is where journaling prompts can come in. And you could give yourself a weekly prompt. So starting on a Sunday, perhaps, for the week, if you start your weeks on a Sunday, you could say, this week, my focus is on forgiveness. Or this week, I'm going to be very conscious of gratitude as I journal. Practice 19 is digital mindfulness. So we talked before about taking a digital detox. Let's talk about digital mindfulness, which involves being aware of your relationship with technology and using it intentionally. So rather than taking a break, which is also needed, but taking a break, you use it with direct intention. Setting limits on your screen time. So this could include curating your social media feed, for instance. That could be crucial. And taking tech breaks, of course. All of these practices can improve your mental wellness. Studies show that mindful use of technology can prevent overstimulation. And this is what a lot of people are suffering from, being overly stimulated. It can help to reduce anxiety and enhance your focus. That's from Firth et al., 2017. Digital mindfulness encourages balance and self-regulation, promoting better mental health. When you become conscious of your consumption of technology, you become much more aware of how it affects you. You become aware of your headaches, how your eyes begin to hurt, how your posture has been affected, how now you have backache, how now your legs feel weak because you're not up and about as much. You become more aware of how you're being affected negatively, as opposed to anything you're getting from all those hours of consuming digital content. It's very important to incorporate digital mindfulness in your daily practice. And luckily, there are many tools that you can use to set your screen time, to give you a prompt, an alert. You can set your timer. You can also mute certain social media if it's causing you anxiety. You can set your content levels too. You can block certain accounts. Lots of these practices can come in to digital mindfulness. It is a spiritual practice because it is protecting your mind from overstimulation, protecting your body from feeling out of whack, feeling over anxious, overstimulated, and is protecting your spirit from absorbing external negative energies. So you don't always have to be physically next to a person or in front of a person to absorb their energy. Energy transmutes through the internet, It's all energy. So of course it will transmute to the internet. If you are spiritually aware, you do need to become more aware, and you would have to accept that this is the case. If you choose to ignore it, then you will always be affected. Doing nothing. There is power in doing nothing. This means doing none of those practices, none of the 19 we just talked about, and literally sitting, doing nothing. Now, some of you are saying, well, isn't that silence? Perhaps. Maybe you choose to be silent as you're doing nothing. It could be taking a nap. Okay, that's doing something. But overall, what I mean by doing nothing is not feeling as though you have to do anything. That you can take a day or half a day or an hour just doing nothing. It's maybe sitting in a chair, sitting on your bed, staring out of the window. There is power in doing nothing. Doing nothing differs from mindfulness because mindfulness focuses on, of course, the present, which we talked about. And doing nothing is really the state of just being. And it's something I always talk about in the podcast, and my previous intro talked about the state of being. And doing nothing is doing something, of course, but it's not doing anything that you might normally do. Think of it as removing yourself from anything just for now. There's a real lightness in that. There's a speciality in that. And sometimes as a medium, when I've connected with spirit on different levels for different things, different intentions, I have often heard spirit say, just do nothing. Just do nothing. And when I've listened to that, because I don't always listen, I know I should, as intuitive as I am, I do get lots of things, lots of messages, lots of proof, but I'm human, and the ego will just do what it does. And sometimes I ignore it. But when I listen to that, everything changes. People often call doing nothing apathy. And that's not right, because apathy is a lack of motivation, lack of interest. Boredom, again, it's a lack of stimulation. But Nixon, which is the purposeful state of doing nothing, especially in Dutch wellness culture, and this is where I got the idea. This concept is the brain's default network. We talked about the BDN before in my other videos, the brain's default network. It engages in activities like daydreaming, reflection, or just when you're inactive, when you're just doing nothing. So it is a state of being. And it is a spiritual practice. And I left it for last because I find it extremely powerful. I would encourage you to try it sometimes. Not for extended periods of time unless you really need to. And that could be for recovery, for many different things, for respite. All that's very important. But try doing nothing at times. So there you have it. 20 spiritual practices that can dramatically boost your mental wellness, meditation, mindfulness, physical activity, sleep hygiene, artistic endeavors, digital detoxing, prayer, silence, yoga, qigong, tai chi, volunteering, and more. Integrating these into your daily routine can help you achieve a deeper sense of peace, a deeper sense of emotional balance. Remember, mental wellness is not just about eliminating stress or challenges, but more so building resilience and staying grounded no matter what life throws your way, no matter what pops out of nowhere. By embracing these spiritual practices, you can create a life that feels aligned, peaceful, and full of purpose. If you're ready to take the next step in your wellness journey, I invite you to check out my recording, Relaxation with Mindfulness and Give Me Relaxation. These tools will support your daily practice of relaxation and mindfulness. And if you're ready to disconnect from the digital world, don't forget to download my free 7-day digital detox guide to help you to get started on your path to a more balanced life. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found these practices helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe for more insights into mental wellness. Let me know the practices that you've already incorporated into your daily life or just your life in general and what's helpful, and let me know the ones that you haven't tried yet but that you will be trying because of this video. Until next time, stay connected with yourself and nurture your mental wellness. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Inquisitive Wren podcast. I appreciate you listening. Apple Podcast listeners, if you don't already, make sure that you have auto download turned on. Very important. Question of the day for the episode: what stood out for you and what was your biggest takeaway from the episode? It helps me to know, and it helps other listeners as we focus on our community. Hit me up on the Inquisitive Wren on socials and email inquiswrenpod@gmail.com. If you're listening as an Inquisitive Wren All Access member, thank you for supporting the show. I appreciate it so much. And if not, become a member now by going to the Inquisitive Wren /membership. Members can listen to every episode ad-free. Plus, you'll get free resources like meditations and visualizations and episodes that you don't get anywhere else. Early access episodes and discounts to events and in-person appearances. I've got one coming up in October. You don't want to miss that. It's the Inquisitive Wren /membership for details. Rate and review the show and follow us on IG, TikTok, and Facebook at The Inquisitive Wren. And on YouTube at YouTube /The Inquisitive Wren. What we're building here goes beyond content. It's a community of curious minds. So until we meet again, stay curious.